Ο επόμενος ομιλητής δεν είναι ένας, αλλά δύο πάλι. Είναι ο κύριος Ανδρέας Λάλος, Professional Services Director στην BESECURE, και ο κύριος Peter Galvin, Technical Sales Consultant στην Entrust Certificate Services.
Λοιπόν, είμαι εδώ πέρα σήμερα να σας μιλήσω λίγο για την BESECURE και για την Entrust. Ίσως κάποιοι από εσάς να μας γνωρίζετε σαν BESECURE στην Ελλάδα που δραστηριοποιούμαστε, βέβαια και στο εξωτερικό, για μια νέα συνεργασία που είναι αρκετά υποσχόμενη και ακούει στο όνομα Entrast Data Card. Κυρίως οι εταιρείες που είναι από το χώρο των τραπεζικό να γνωρίζουν είτε τη μία εταιρεία είτε την άλλη. Τελευταία η Entrast εξαγοράστηκε με την εταιρεία Data Card και πλέον λέγονται Entrust Data Card. Και αντικείμενο της συζήτησης είναι Trusted Identities ή Secure Transactions, και τα δύο. Εμείς θα εστιάσουμε σήμερα κυρίως στο κομμάτι των Secure Transactions, κυρίως με το κομμάτι του Secure Online Business και το θέμα των Digital Certificates. Αντιλαμβάνομαι ότι θα έχετε ακούσει περισσότερο από εσάς τελευταία ότι έχει υπάρξει μια έξαρση σε επίπεδο επιθέσεων κυρίως για κρυπτογραφημένες επικοινωνίες. Θα γνωρίζετε σχετικά με το Poodle, το Heartbleed. Αυτό δείχνει γενικότερα ότι υπάρχει έτσι μια ιδιαιτερότητα στους επιτιθέμενους, κυρίως συστήματα τα οποία μέχρι πρότινος χρησιμοποιούσαν digital certificates και θεωρούνταν ασφαλή. Αυτό λοιπόν το οποίο εμείς θέλαμε να κάνουμε και το πετύχαμε, πιστεύω, στη συνεργασία με την Entrust, είναι να δώσουμε μια εναλλακτική προσέγγιση πάνω στο θέμα της ασφαλούς online επικοινωνίας, χρησιμοποιώντας digital certificates αφενός, αφετέρου να μπορούμε να δώσουμε κάτι διαφορετικό από αυτό που παρέχει η αγορά. Δεν είμαστε νούμερο 1 στην αγορά και αυτό είναι και το τέλος της παρουσίασης. Είμαστε οι δεύτεροι αυτή τη στιγμή κατά διεθνούς αξιολογητές όσον αφορά την χρήση και την αξιοποίηση προηγμένων τεχνικών κρυπτογράφησης. Και για το λόγο αυτό θα ήθελα να καλέσω τον Peter Galvin, συνεργάτη μας από την Entrast, να μας εξηγήσει για ποιο λόγο η Entrast είναι εδώ πέρα σήμερα και τι παραπάνω μπορεί να μας δώσει από αυτό που μέχρι σήμερα γνωρίζετε πάνω στο θέμα των Digital Certificates και των Online Transactions. Αυτό που μπορώ εγώ να καταθέσω από τη μεριά μου είναι ότι έχουμε δύο κυρία χαρακτηριστικά: να αυξήσουμε την ασφαλειά σας και να μειώσουμε το κόστος σας. Θα αφήσω λοιπόν τον Peter να μιλήσει και να σας τα εξηγήσει. Peter, the word is you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Andreas. My name is Peter Galvin. I work for Entrast Card as a technical consultant. So just give you an overview of our services and why we think it's good to be number two. So Entrast itself has been around 15 years. We're a leader in PKI and we were acquired by Card back towards the end of 2014. Card, if you're not aware of them, they produce passports, bank cards, driver's licenses and elements are there. So there's a synergy there with our PKI is now required for biometric passports, for example. So there's 2,000 employees across the globe, 34 locations. We have a number of resources across the globe as well as partners like BESECURE that we look to work with. The whole market perspective is how we're looking at doing things is to split it up across payments and securing the payment with regards to credit cards and securing the user and identifying the user and using that within the information security arena. From the citizen's point of view, that tends to be with regards to passports and, as I say, military IDs and driver's licenses. There's a number of governments we utilise across the globe. And for the consumer, it's assuring that consumer that when they make the purchase, when they go on a website, there is the credit card details, they are encrypted. The website you're actually working on is the legitimate website of that particular retailer. And for the enterprise, it's allowing the back end of that retailer to be assured that the credit card details can transverse in a secure manner, that server to server will talk and communicate in an assured and encrypted manner as well. So just to elaborate a bit more, it's not just about the person, it's not just about the website, it's also about the applications that we utilise, it's about the devices, so you can go into the bring your own device situation, you can bring a device onto site, but not just that, it's also if you move from one office location to another, it allows you to authenticate. There's no need to use a password, beg your pardon. There's no need to keep typing in the password. There's no need to pass passwords around, as we've all seen it happen before. And at the back end, it allows servers to talk from server to server in a secure and enabled format. So this, to wrap it all up very briefly, allows you to conduct transactions in a secure manner. It allows you to access networks and certain parts of networks. It allows you to segment. One person can only access one part of the network, another person can access another part of the network. Cross-border control for passports, military IDs, and driver's licenses, and allows you then to enter facilities. The enter facilities ties in nicely with critical infrastructure, so the water, the gas, the electric, those areas where you don't necessarily want everyone and anyone to have access. You can secure that access down and tie it down so that person can do that element, that particular role. So Entrust itself has 3 portfolios really. The piece I work on is secure cloud services. That's the SSL, that's the public trust certificates. But on the other side, there's the authentication and fraud detection. That's including identity guard, that's 2-factor authentication, whether it be on a mobile phone or whether it be on a laptop, or obviously the hard token, or a grid card even, so you can play like a form of battleships. Get access allows you to have roles and responsibilities and marks those people so that one person can have one particular role in an infrastructure and another person can have another. Digital certificates and PKI, that allows you to create, if you need to, your own certificate authority internally. So you can issue your own certificates. So it also can be a shared authority with ourselves, and it covers up the PKI. And obviously, as I said, secure cloud services, that's the area I'm working on today. Our reach globally, it's just quickly to outline that for you. It shows 20 out of 20 on the top finances, 4 out of 5 in petroleum, 8 out of 10 in aerospace. It's just to give you an idea. The name may not be familiar to you guys, but actually our reach is global, and we work with quite a lot of companies in that respect. So back onto SSL. Typically, we all know the padlock on the web browser when you go to make your purchase. That's the online credit card transactions. But the other elements that can be used for is VPN access, for example, secure FTP, webmail, having access to corporate webmails, allowing work mails, and like Citrix delivery platforms. I think it's Citrix Access Gateway used to be the old name for it. There's a number of uses out there. There's a number of reasons why you may need to authenticate the user and authenticate the end user as well, and encrypt the data as it's moving in that situation. And some of the growth drivers that has been driven at the moment, right at the bottom, when it talks about new standards, we are governed by like the CA browser forum, and that's a forum that brings down rules and regulations and how we have to operate. And then referring to Google and Microsoft, there was other elements come in with regards to how you actually have to function, how we have to deprecate SHA-1 encryption at the moment, and we're moving to SHA-2. Google have an initiative where if the whole of the website is actually secured, then we can that'll move you up the rankings on the Google search pages. And as everyone knows, first page is best page with regards to Google. Then there are regulations in regards to PCI, HIPAA, where any data that's in transit has to be secured, has to be encrypted. And as always, e-commerce, multi-billion pound market these places, and depending on the region, the growth in these areas will be anywhere between 10 and 25% per annum. That's the forecast from the various analyst companies out there. So why Entrust? There's a number of reasons. We have a core beliefs, a core strategy. We have the universally deployed routes. It's inside various browsers. We have a wider range of certificates and services. We are the trusted vendor. I won't read them all out. And the website performance is quite a good one to touch on as well. We engaged with Frost Sullivan just towards the end of 2013, so it was issued in 2014. And they outlined that actually Entrust globally, as an enterprise level in the OV and the EV marketplace, we are number 2. We are globally number 2. It's because we have initiatives. It's because we add the extra value. It's because we add the support levels. And that's what they say towards there in the middle, which is we're aware of and develop the solutions for the enterprise class business needs. There's a couple of outline reasons taken from the report that Frost Sullivan say, but it's the bit at the bottom that's quite pertinent, that we can actually offer a complete solution that provides the customers with the high-value service without the high price tag that is associated with it and normally is associated with it. So from a SSL market view and how we like to engage and how we like to move in that, we have the public trust, we have our roots, we push ourselves out, we have the products, we have the ability to enhance our OV and EV certificate offerings. We have some differentiators. We have a cloud platform. We have a management platform that resides in the cloud. You can manage that all yourself, and I'll touch on that in a little bit. And we also have other elements as well, the value adds. So we will be doing certificate transparency, which is another initiative from Google. We'll be providing a monitoring service for that, so you will be able to see if there's any other certificates being issued for your domain that may not necessarily have been requested from you as a business, maybe requested from someone else within that business. We have discovery, so if you have certificates, you may not know who's actually bought that certificate or how many certificates you actually have. We can actually have a tool on site to manage that and look after that for you as well. So as I touched on the public route, there's the amount of desktop browsers we can actually lay out there. That's 99.9% of all known browsers. We're in everyone. We were in Netscape still at one point. Mobile browsers, 99.5%, and obviously we're inside the Java clients as well. So the range of certificates and services, to the left-hand side as you're looking to the screen is the OV and the EV certificates, and they're at various levels. They allow you to protect various domains and various subject alternative names, SANs, in various ways, depending on your needs and wants as a customer. But we also have a partnership with SiteLock, which provides a security solution as well. So it allows a reverse scan on your public-facing websites for malware, for blacklisting, for spam, going down into vulnerabilities and exploitations and that side of things. So all the levels that are made towards protecting you in that side. To the other side of the screen, you have Adobe signing. So we can sign a PDF, and that will be signed associated with yourself. It's a legal requirement in some countries on the globe these days. Lawyers, doctors, architects, for example, are all using this solution. And once anyone makes a change to a PDF, that will then it'll highlight the fact that there's been a change made and hasn't been signed or co-signed by yourself. Device certificates is the solution with regards to allowing a phone, your laptop going onto the network. Code signing is to authenticate code. And probably you've all gone onto various websites and flashes up the warning. It brings up a warning that piece of script's not signed off. It's not authenticated. You can't be sure. So that's the certificates we offer on that side. And obviously we have secure emails, whether on a personal level or for an enterprise level as well. Just to touch on very quickly, with regards to the levels of validation that is offered, we were all taught for many a year that if you're going on a website and making a purchase, look for the padlock. It's always about the padlock. Look for the padlock. Well, there's an extra layer. There's the green bar as well. It's extended validation. And the difference is that potentially with a padlocked website, you're just basically verifying, or you have been verified, that the domain exists and nothing else. But with an EV certificate, the domain exists, the organisation exists, you've been checked by a third party, you've been telephoned, you've been verified, and it gives you some extra layers of protection, and that's that level as well. Pooling accounts is a unique ability, a unique enabler for ourselves, as opposed to just having box certificates or certificates that are one use only, whether you use them for the full year or whether you use them for 6 months for a project or a marketing. We can reuse and repurpose certificates and allow you to use them over and over again, whether it be 3 months at a time for different projects or for different solutions. So ECC, we have an elliptical curve cryptography that's enabled. It allows us to use stronger keys and a shorter length. It increases the speed at which the SSL handshake partakes. Typically a 256 ECC key would be the equivalent of an RSA asymmetric 3072 key, so it's a lot quicker, and that's something we offer. We offer it currently as a co-signed intermediate chain, with the view that later on this year it'll be a fully signed chain offered by ourselves. So certificate creation. We've got two portals. We have a portal for certificate management and creation. It allows you to issue the certificate, revoke the certificate, manage the certificate, produce the reports about the certificate. If something like SHA-1 comes up, you can actually then produce a specialized report, a view on the dashboard to give you the ability to manage that side of things. And obviously time is against us, but if you want to find out more about the management system, I can actually show you that today. It's no problem at all. And discovery, typically we find a number of customers we deal with, the procurement process for certificates has not been the best. They don't know the expiry dates, they don't know what certificate managers they've been using, they don't know who's been buying the certificates. So essentially, we can put a single agent on a network, we can just have a quick scan of the network and produce a report for the user that will actually explain what's happened, what certificates they have, where they're located, what encryption levels they are, and vendors and so on. It just helps to get a better view with the network, potentially pair them all up into one single renewal date. So finally,
I'm afraid the time is over.
Finally, website security matters. There is, in every transaction with a website, you will have an actual process where you'll actually talk to a website comes back to you, you then go and check whether the certificate is valid or not. And what happens is there's a time lag. There's always going to be a time lag. So we're currently the second fastest, and potentially as more and more SSL certificates get delivered and pushed out into the marketplace, then the actual time it takes to look after, manage, and have access to a website could potentially take longer. And as we all know these days, we're all very, very busy people. We may just move to another website because your certificate is not getting validated quick enough. That website's taking a little bit too long to cover off for you. That's all. Thank you very much.